Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday Show. I'm Hammer. I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday Show hosts, Genty Maxi.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm all right. I will let you make the usual assumption as to my fatigue levels.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm all right. My allergies are kicking my butt, though.
Oh, no.
I'll be okay. It's like every once in a while, I'm like, oh, that hurts. Okay, clinic's time.
Regardless of what the rumors say, I'm also doing pretty well. I think I'm out for good. I have graduated, and I am on my way to being independent adult again at 62. Thank God. Before we get into topics tonight, why don't we go ahead and say hello to everybody in chat?
That sounds like a plan. So, over on Rumble, we have Jack Gunsky. So we weren't even supposed to start the stream. We have JB. We have Blue-Eyed Screen. We have a lot of scrolling. And there's Keebadan and lots of talking. I think that might be everyone. I'm not seeing any new names. Okay, I think that's everyone. If I missed you, I apologize.
Well, I think everyone that was there is now here, so I will restart that. Let's scroll back up. Hi, Heather.
Hey.
Hi, Biker. Hi, Rotten. Hi, Terry.
Hello.
Hi, Jack. We got to stop the stream twice. It's a vortex.
Yeah.
Hi, keep it in. Speaking Trey. I got you in the right order. Hi, Blue-Eyed Scream. Hi, Green. Badger outdoors. And let's go down. And no, I think that was it. Okay. Yeah. Quick night. Thank you to everyone for joining us.
Yes.
Very honorable. Just so you know, Hammer, I don't know if you know this because I follow quite a number of other people on Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we care about promotion because we're kind of just a group of misfits who pretty much play at a drama club. But you're supposed to read off something for Rumble. It's like on Rumble, you can say what you want, etc., etc.
I know nothing of this.
I don't remember the rest of it, but it's something in when you sign up. There's like a little thing on the bottom that we're supposed to read. At least 5 of the people that I follow found that out, and they're like, "Oh."
Is this only when you first sign up that you're supposed to read this?
I think it's for everyone because Steven Crowder's doing it. And I don't follow him, but it's basically.
I don't like Steven Crowder. I've never liked Steven Crowder.
It's basically been in his ad that he's been peddling. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's serious for us. Like, if we don't want to, it's not like we were being like, "Hey, Rumble, we're going to be a massive channel."
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be. I don't think I would enjoy it if there were like tens of thousands of people in chat because I like being able to read chat, and I wouldn't be able to do that if there were 10,000 people there.
Yeah. When I signed into Rumble, it looked the same as it always did. I didn't see anything special about anything to read or anything like that.
I don't know.
Yep, it's just recommended.
I mean, I didn't even see the note, so I don't know what's going on. I'll go check in Rumble after the show and see if I can figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I mention it is because it's like, basically anyone that I know is running their own channel is trying to remember to read it.
Gunsky says that Crowder is so very unfunny, like Gutfeld. I know zero things about Gutfeld, but from what I've seen of Steven Crowder, I do not like him.
I haven't followed him since the drama that he pretty much brought on himself. But I will watch the odd commercial to see what it is that he's saying because he's still a big influencer. You know, he still has...
It wasn't very funny, but I did think Steven Crowder's changed my mind was at least interesting to
Mhm.
watch. I don't think he's the best arguer, but it's still interesting just to see what the retarded university students have to say on topics.
Well, Charlie Kirk has taken over that spot, so.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro used to do it as well.
But I don't even know if Crowder is even doing that anymore, is he?
No idea. But
Not as far as I've seen.
But I'm just saying that's the thing that I did watch Crowder for, was to change my mind. When he was like just standing in front of like universities, and he'd have a sign that says, abortion is murder, change my mind, or illegal immigration is a problem, change my mind, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that whole change my mind thing. I think Charlie Kirk is a much better arguer.
Yeah, he does a better job. I watch him more than I would actually. I haven't watched Crowder in like probably 3 years, 3-4 years.
Charlie has the same advantage that Ben Shapiro does. He's already had the argument 4,000 times, so he knows what you're going to say before you say it, and he already has an answer to it, and he also has an answer to the 4,000 things you come up with after that. So it's like you can't win.
I think that Andrew Wilson guy is probably the best that I've seen. The stuff like that. He's fucking brutal. He does not pull punches.
Not only is he good at arguing, but he's brutal when he does it, because he'll be nice to you if you're nice to him. But as soon as you go against him, he rips you apart. Holy crap.
Yeah. And no, I like Andrew Wilson. He's definitely one of my favorite of those like debater people.
I also have respect for the guy, because like, you're not wrong. Like, Charlie Kirk does cheat a little bit because he is doing the same argument and stuff, but Andrew still does his research on who he's going to be debating. Like, the minute he knew he was debating Destiny, he's like, well, let's see what kind of habits this guy has. Okay, so he does a lot of word salad.
They're a different format. Charlie gets on campus. Andrew goes head to head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not saying that one's better than the other. It's just I like that he does the research on people, because there's
One of my favorites was,
go ahead.
One of my favorites was Andrew Wilson ripping Tommy Lahren apart. Like, and what do men get out of providing all of these benefits to you?
Nothing. It's pretty funny to have Tommy Lahren be called a feminist on.
Which he is. I mean,
on what's his face?
She might dispute the label, but she clearly is.
Piers Morgan, right? She was on Piers Morgan show. Yeah. I always thought if you're a conservative woman, you're not a feminist, but there certainly has opened my eyes. At least Andrew has. That there's plenty of feminism on the right too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, he's pretty brutal. I get a kick out of him. He did a 1v1 against some feminist, and she got all upset, and she's like, "You better get your guest under control." And he says, "What's the matter, lady? Am I interrupting you?" And she says, "Yeah, you're interrupting me. I'm I've got a college degree in this, that, and the other." And he says, "Well, you don't have your TikTok mute button today." It says, "This is a debate." He says, "This is a debate, and I'm going to talk over top you just as much as you're going to talk over top of me." And she's like, "I'm going to get away from this table right now."
That's one of the things that happens.
Glorious.
I mean, that seems to happen a lot based on clips on the whatever podcast is. Whoever's arguing with Andrew Wilson just, and then just like, I don't feel safe, I'm leaving.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of rage quits with him.
Yeah.
It's basically what you do when you know you failed at your argument.
Yeah.
Well, people send in notes saying, "I want to be in the show because I disagree with this," or "I think you guys are bad because of this." And then they come on the show and then they get destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember there was one. It was Brian Atlas. It wasn't Andrew Wilson, but it's like all he said was, "How would you define misogyny?" And then like she starts whimpering, and
I remember that girl. That was painful to watch. That was really bad. I thought that girl was going to go home and kill herself.
Yeah,
she was really in trouble. Like, I think a mental
all
health
he
person
said was,
should have been
"How
there.
would you define misogyny?"
Yeah, I know, but she just could not talk. She just stopped and looked, and started crying and looked, and nobody was helping her. The other girls that were there weren't helping her because it was a simple question. And she just sat there and cried and finally just got up and left.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't define it. And a lot of women can't. But there's an image that I put out on Twitter from time to time. It's a picture of a young girl, and it says, "This is why we need feminism, because he disagreed with me and he shouldn't be allowed to do that."
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It's like, you got to come up with something better than, "I don't like what he said, therefore he's a misogynist."
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's probably not true.
I don't know if you saw it, but Six in chat was saying that the movie you were thinking of was LA Confidential. You're talking about a mystery detective movie, and apparently it's LA Confidential, is what Six is saying in chat.
Okay.
I thought I better get to that before, because it scrolled off the screen on mine. So.
Yeah. But talking about Crowder, I was never a fan. I like the idea that he's a big Second Amendment person, and I seen him on stage, and he rips someone apart, and it was a really good performance. But as far as his show, boring. It's like Joe Rogan with no energy.
He basically played off of his other buddies, and then whenever they were more funny, he would have issues with them.
Yeah.
Gunsky says he has no respect for Andrew Wilson after he acted like Brian's mummy when Brian was spanked by Warren Smith. I do. I'm vaguely familiar with the Warren Smith incident. I don't know how Andrew Wilson reacted to it. I haven't seen that, so maybe he was a bit coddling of Brian. I'm not sure.
I don't know what that is. Who's Warren Smith?
I forget the name that he goes by, but his real name is Warren Smith, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he was on the whatever podcast, and yeah, I don't remember the details, but yeah, him and Brian had a disagreement, and I remember it was on Warren's channel. It was like he was sort of bragging about how he got the best of Brian Atlas.
Well, Brian's a show host. He's not really a debater. Andrew's the debater, so winning against Brian really isn't a big win.
But yeah, I mostly know Warren Smith because you might have seen it a while back. He was a teacher, and some kid was saying J.K. Rowling was transphobic, and so he simply said, "Can you give me examples of transphobic things that she said?" And then like the kid was like looking it up, and he couldn't find anything. That was like where I first discovered Warren Smith.
The information Six is giving you is a long-standing problem I've had with a movie that I remember from my youth.
Oh, okay.
That's what that's all about. And let me paint for you a scene from the movie that has haunted me because I can remember nothing before this and I can remember nothing after this. It is night in an English cobblestone street. There is a man who is dying on the street. Two men run up to him to see if he's okay. And the guy pulls him close and he whispers in this guy's ear. He says, "Us," and dies. One guy looks at the other guy and he says, "Ostivus? What the fuck is most of us? What does he mean, Ostivus?" And finally the other guy turned him like he said, "Post office." And they both get up and run away. That's the only thing I can remember from that entire scene. And I think if Six is correct, he has found the movie that I've been looking for. It's LA Confidential, which I believe, let me just check my NAS. I just updated my NAS the other day, so it should be much faster than it used to be. My movie, LA. Cloverfield, blah, 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 blah.
And because I have a tendency to neglect Rumble, JB over there says he dislikes people like Crowder because they make themselves smart by pointing out obvious idiots. Yeah, I mean, that kind of comes with the territory. It's mostly going to be idiots who think too highly of themselves that want to challenge people like Crowder or Andrew Wilson or Ben Shapiro or Charlie Kirk. It's mostly going to be idiots that think too highly of themselves that want to challenge these people in the first place. You're not often going to see like smart people challenging these guys. Which is why when Warren Smith did it, he kind of humiliated Brian Atlas, from what I understand.
I do have the movie.
Excellent.
So after I check out Rumble after the show, I'll fire up the movie and see if I can find that spot.
Yes.
It will be a long search, like years.
Well, that actually, something similar happened to me, where there was a game I had half a memory of from when I was like a little kid, like 8 or 9 years old. And then like 10, 15 years later, I happened to find GOG. Back then it was called Good Old Games.
Mhm.
And I was just like scrolling through and I was like, wait a minute. This is it. This is the game that I've been trying to remember for 15 years.
Mhm.
And so I bought it and played it. Like, yes, this is it. This is the game. And it was Tex Murphy Mean Streets is the game. And it's like,
Wow.
I was just like scrolling through GOG thinking, like, let's see what like cool nostalgic games they have here. It's like, oh my god, this is the one. So I bought it like on the spot. It was like $2.
That's the great thing about software nowadays. You don't have to head down to Egghead Software and buy a box anymore.
No. I actually do think it's a shame that GOG branched out into more modern games. I liked them a lot more when they were just good old games, where if you wanted to play Wolfenstein 3D or,
Mhm.
A Secret of Monkey Island, that was where you went, and you went to Steam for modern day stuff. Because that way it made sense having the two exist. Like at the moment, GOG is just like bad Steam, as far as I can tell, because they're trying to compete in the modern games front, where they kind of had the market on classic old games.
Well, if they can manage to hold on to the old games as their market share, and then
They
slowly eat away at the modern one and update and
no,
update and update, they might be able to pull off of both.
the opposite happened. Steam now has all the classic old games on there as well.
No.
So it didn't work.
Why don't we go over the topics?
That might be an idea.
That's novel. You don't do that very often.
Let's try it.
Not a huge night for news topics, but I do have a couple. First one is issued. You guys know who Tim Walz is, right?
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's the governor of Minnesota. He was Kamala's running mate, vice president. Has signed a law to issue driver licenses to illegal aliens.
That's not good.
Yeah. So technically that means that it's much easier for them to vote in our federal election now.
Yeah, no, that's obviously very bad.
Yeah. Derailed. 35 cars derail in Texas. No injuries or leaks reported. 35 cars in one derailment. It was just in the news just before I got live. I was like, oh, well, that was an interesting one. We'll look at that. But it's not really updated. They haven't really said exactly what caused it or anything else. Or I don't even think they mentioned the name of the railway. They just said that this just happened. Breaking news. Da, da, da. Breaking news. And then finally, the one you brought up, Clipped.
Yeah.
If you don't like software intrusion into your data, make your icon a Clippy.
Yes.
I don't know how many people would know what Clippy is. You'd have to have Windows Vista or Windows.
I forget which version of Windows he was part of, but yeah. Back in the day, back in the old times.
Part of Office.
Microsoft Office. Back when you could buy Microsoft Office and it wasn't a subscription service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was a Clippy, and if you did something like if you wrote "Dear Mr. Smith," it would say, it looks like you're trying to write a letter. Would you like me to help you out with that? And it would just format the letter for you, and basic things like that. That's all it was. It was basically just a few templates.
Yeah, very, very, very basic AI
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
Not even AI.
And,
It's just, you know, if you typed anything, it would pop up.
yeah,
This is a
if
pop-up.
it had a very rudimentary detection system. So it's like if you said, "Dear Mr. Smith," is you're writing a letter, or if you start writing like an essay for school, it'll be like, it seems like you're writing an essay. Would you like help with that? And it would just give you formatting stuff. It wouldn't like write the thing for you. It'd just be like, oh, okay, so I'll just put indents here, and I'll change the font size here, and just to make it look like the standard template for an essay or a letter or whatever it was that you were writing.
Yeah. So this YouTuber wants you to change your avatar to Clippy.
Yes.
If you're upset with software intrusion into your data.
And a lot of people have.
It's just I'm just not a person to go along with the group. I'm not the kind of person who's going to put a black square for BLM.
No,
I'm not going to
of
change
course not.
my icon to pretty colors for Pride Month. I'm not going to
No.
change my avatar to Clippy. I'm not going to do anything that
Well-
anybody wants me to do unless I want to do it.
Yeah,
So
I think basically, if I like firmly believed in something, then I could maybe understand doing it. Like if I was insane and passionately followed Black Lives Matter, I could understand if I changed my thing to a black thing for Black Lives Matter to let the world know this is important to me. But yes, this is not important enough to me to change my icon to a Clippy.
yeah. I watched about half of his video, and the very first point he made, I thought was really, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Imagine you're some girl who's going to college, never had a computer before in her life. He wants you to buy an operating system that does not come with a browser. So you take your laptop that you just got from Best Buy and you take it home and you say, okay, I want to get on the internet. Well, you can't because there's no browser on your machine.
No, I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue was that it came with Internet Explorer pre-installed, and
Right.
like they were saying that was some sort of like monopolistic practice. So I think what they would want is you would have the ability to choose which browser. Like,
How would you do that?
I don't know. I'm just saying this is
You
this
can't.
is how I understand. This is how I
That's the
understand
answer.
the complaint.
Yeah, this is the answer though. You can't. What they want you to
Yeah.
do can't be done because you can't take a competitor's software product and put it on your operating system and then sell your operating system. You can't do that.
I think they would want it to be separate, maybe like
How
Windows
do you
wouldn't
do
come
that? You're buying a
Windows-
CD from
no.
a store.
What they're saying is Windows wouldn't come with Internet Explorer pre-installed. You would then go out and buy Internet Explorer if that's the browser you
How
wanted.
would you get it on your machine?
You would buy like a disk or whatever.
Right. So you buy a machine, a $3,000 laptop with Windows on it, and you can't get on the internet without buying something else.
But then you would have the freedom to install Chrome or Brave or whatever
You
you
still
want.
could.
Yeah.
But you would need to have something on your machine first so that you could. So you'd need to have Internet Explorer so you can go get Chrome. But he doesn't want you to have Internet Explorer because somehow that's cheating.
Well, what he's saying is you should have the choice. So if you go, instead of buying Internet Explorer, you could go buy Chrome and install that instead, rather than having it pre-installed on your computer, I think what he's getting at. I don't think it's a big deal.
Why is he pointing out Windows?
Because Windows is the operating system that everyone uses.
Why isn't he pointing out Macs? Because they do exactly the same thing with Safari.
Then I assume he would have the same problem with it.
But he didn't
I
say
don't
anything
know.
about it.
I don't know, but I would assume because it is the same problem, he would probably take issue with both.
Let's sell an operating system that's intentionally hamstrung. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to buy an operating system along with your machine that can't do the basic things you need to do with your machine because proprietary.
I mean, you'd probably have to have this conversation with him rather than me, because like I don't have a problem with Internet Explorer being on my computer. Like I obviously the only thing I ever used it for was to download Brave, but I don't really have a problem with it just sitting there existing.
We're still doing it. Windows 10 and 11 come with Edge.
Yeah, but I'm just like I don't have a problem with it. It's sitting there taking up space, I guess, but it's like I just don't use it. It's not
You
an
know
issue
how
for me.
you know how Microsoft got around this?
No.
Edge is based on Chromium, the same engine used in Chrome and Brave.
Right.
So it's no longer really theirs. It's just their skin on top of Chromium. That's how they got around it.
I mean, it is true. I mean, Edge is based on Chromium. It's very clearly based on Chromium.
Yeah. Well, all three of them are. The only thing that's not based on Chromium is Firefox.
But Brave comes out and then says we're basically Chrome, except we don't track your information the way that Google does.
Yeah.
Right. If you like Chrome, use Brave, and it's the same thing, except we won't track your information.
Right. So I mean, that's all good, but your options are 5 Chromium browsers and 1 non-Chromium browser. That's your options.
What about Opera? I think Opera. If it's
that's
still
true.
around.
That's just true. I do actually have Opera on my machine. I do. Opera is a weird animal. Have you ever used it?
Ages ago. Because back then, I've always been looking for alternatives to Internet Explorer, and once upon a time, Opera was the one that was suggested to me. So I did have it on my computer briefly, but I never stuck with it. Once Google Chrome came along, that was kind of it for me until Brave came along. It's like the same thing, but better. So, okay, I'll just use Brave.
Opera, its whole intent, Opera, is tabs.
Okay.
It is about tabs. It lives on tabs. It's all about tabs, which I never use. Yeah, I could still use it as a browser, but it does weird things. Its format is weird. It doesn't look like any other browser. And sometimes if it updates and you start it, it plays music.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, wait a minute. I don't want music going. Why am I having music? If I'm on stream with you guys and I start Opera up and it plays music through the stream, I'm like, whoa, I didn't want that going through the stream.
I don't want my internet browser to randomly play music. That sounds bad.
I think it only happens when you update it. So now it automatically runs a little tag in the background of your machine on the system level that goes out and it checks every once in a while to see if an update needs to happen. So does Chrome. So does Brave.
Yeah. No, but I don't get music playing when Brave needs to update. I just get a little thing at the top of the screen saying update required, and then you can click on it and update. Or you can ignore it. Like, you can't ignore it. Even if it says required, it's not going to stop working if you don't update it.
Yeah. I'm not angry. Everyone's telling me I sound angry. I'm frustrated with the idea that somebody who has an expansive audience can say something so completely ridiculous. That's what bothers me. This guy should know better.
But yeah, I think what he would want is you buy the operating system, and then as a separate purchase, you buy whichever browser you want. And I think that's what he wants.
Well, let's buy the operating system, but don't include the GDI or any executables. You need to buy those separate.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't have a problem with Internet Explorer or Edge sitting there doing nothing on my computer. I'm just trying to formulate what his argument seems to be.
Yeah. Well, I watched the video and I was like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? You have to have some way. What people don't know is even on machines that didn't have any browser on it, there was the DLLs for a browser on Windows, and you can access those DLLs from the command prompt. So you could bring up a text-based browser on Windows without having Internet Explorer installed.
Right.
So old computer hacker trick that I know. But you could still get on the internet and still get to a website. And it may even allow you to download. I don't remember if it did or not, but I think it did. So you could technically get Chrome without having Internet Explorer on the machine. Because Internet Explorer was just iExplore.exe. So what they would do is take that off, but they leave iExplore1.dll, iExplore1.dll2. They had all the other programs on there, but they would just remove the executable.
And Gunsky in chat is saying, I think Louis, and he gets his own name wrong. He thinks his name is Lewis. It's not. It's Louis. I think Louis is frustrated that anti-monopoly and consumer protection movements of the past were more robust. Yeah, I mean, that's his whole thing. He's very pro-consumer rights, very pro-right to repair. So that's where he's coming from. He's very very single-minded when it comes to that issue.
I like the whole idea of right to repair, but it only goes so far. Are you telling me some 13-year-old girl is going to learn how to repair her iPhone?
Well, no, obviously not.
Yeah.
But I think what I took from that video was he was more frustrated that Facebook was saying, "Oh, this 13-year-old girl deleted a selfie. She must be feeling very insecure.
Oh yeah,
Let's tell that information to advertisers so that they can target that insecurity with beauty products."
Yeah.
I think that was more of an issue than
there's no real answer to that, because you're all the things that you're complaining about on Windows is 10 times worse on your phone. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's
TikTok
why I use
is just awful.
I use my phone as a Twitter notification machine. So
Yeah,
it makes a sound when I get a Twitter notification, and once a week I call my mother. That's it. That's my iPhone usage.
Yeah, I use it for medical appointments, and sometimes I'll watch a YouTube video if I'm bored.
I would never watch YouTube on my phone. I don't even have it installed. I don't even have the app on my phone. No, my phone beeps. Well, it doesn't beep. It makes a jingle sound when I get a Twitter notification, and it allows me to talk to my mother. That's it.
Your phone is a phone with a pager on it. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all I'm using it for. It's a very expensive pager, but it's also very, very old. I was still working when I bought that phone, so it's got to be 10 years old.
What is it, a Nokia or something?
No, it's an iPhone, but it's like an iPhone that still has a headphone jack. That's how old it is.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. The iPhone 5, I think, still had a headphone jack, so that's not too bad. I'm using a 7. My 6 has a headphone jack on it, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't know what number mine is. I think it just says SE on the back.
Oh, yeah, that's basically the iPhone 5, the SE. But
Okay.
I still have my 3DS. My iPhone 3.
Okay.
It's about the size of a credit card.
Yeah. So I have a very, very old phone. I don't know what the current iPhone number is, but if I've got a 5 and there's already a 7, you can tell that it's considerably outdated.
Current number is 16.
Yeah, then I'm very, very outdated.
Yeah.
I'm not even a third of the way through.
It does everything I needed to do. I don't need anything better. The only thing is the battery is for shit.
Yeah. My battery is useless. If I go to Melbourne, the battery is basically dead by the time I get there or back. Because it takes a few hours, travel time, and then the flight, and then waiting for planes, and all that stuff. By the time I either get to my destination or get home, the battery is dead, or very close to it. And so it's terrible battery life, but everything else, it does what I need.
I actually went out and bought a power bank to act as a battery for my phone, because there's places where I go where I can't plug in. So I need to keep my phone working, answer calls and that kind of stuff, but I can't plug in. If I just leave it sitting there, it'll go dead. So I plug it into a power bank, which is like an external battery.
Okay.
and the power bank will handle like 5 laptops for 10 hours each. So my phone is fine.
Yeah, Gunsky is saying the problem is worse somewhere else. I guess we should just do nothing. I think the main issue would be if you have that problem, start with the phone, not with Windows. I think that might be what Ham is getting at, because the problem is worse on the phone. So if that's your problem that Louis is having, then target the phone first, because that's where the problem is worse. And then once you fix that, you'll have the infrastructure set up to fix Windows, I guess.
Oh, iPhone comes with Safari on it, right?
Yeah.
Even Linux comes with Firefox on it. You can't get away from it.
Yeah, I don't use Linux. Too many games, from as I understand it, would struggle to work on Linux. Most games are coded to work on Windows, so I use Windows, so I can play games.
Games they're looking for specific files in Windows to talk to get things done. Exactly. Here, I need you to send this to the monitor. So I send it to this DLL. This DLL says, okay, I'll put it on the monitor for you. And it'll get back to you in a second. On Linux, those DLLs just don't exist. So what they do is they've created this program called Wine, which is actually an acronym. It stands for Wine is not an emulator.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was a Windows emulator.
It is kind of a Windows emulator. It emulates, doesn't emulate Windows. It emulates the existence of Windows. So if you put a program on your machine that uses Windows and you fire it up, Wine will respond. Okay. Say, oh, you're trying to run a Windows program. I can run that for you, kind of deal. So it's never as good as native Windows is. It's about 20% difference in performance. They'll run. I mean, everything that you can think of will run. There's a few exceptions. Like I can't get whatchamacallit to run. Heroes of the Storm. I tried for a couple of...
the one thing that you want to run.
Yeah, I tried for a couple of days trying to get that to run because Heroes has a launcher. You can't just run the program. You have to run the launcher, and the launcher launches the program. Yeah. So I can get the launcher to run, but I couldn't get it to launch the game. It would just come up and say, I don't know what you're talking about.
I actually had that problem with Hitman. I was tweeting about it. It turns out the solution for me, at least, was there is a Steam launch option to bypass the launcher, and that worked. Like I think it's just -no launcher. You just type that in, and then instead of running the launcher, it just runs the game directly, and it works if I do that. If I try and launch the game from the IOI launcher, it doesn't work. But if Steam launches the game directly, it does. So I don't know.
I found a solution eventually for Heroes. I just ran it under Windows.
Yeah.
That was the answer. And Linux, if Linux has a problem and it bellies up, you're fucked. Trying to fix it? No, you're wiping the machine out and starting over again.
Yeah, it sounds too tech intensive. Like I don't have the knowledge or the patience to deal with Linux, because I just want Windows because I'm used to it, basically.
And the Linux community is happy with that. They don't really want Windows users.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're kind of snotty.
In chat, Gunsky says homelessness is worse in other countries. Let's fix homelessness in other countries first. Well, I think the problem there is one of jurisdiction. I mean, both Apple and Microsoft are problems in the United States, and the United States would be the one that has the quote-unquote responsibility, if you want to call it that, to fix the problem. The homelessness in Ghana is not the United States jurisdiction. It doesn't have a reason to look into Ghana and homelessness the way that, solving problems where if both the problems are in the United States, it makes sense to target the worst one first.
Let me go ahead and start the poll for everybody. Running a little late.
And as I said before,
this
took zero thought for me to decide which song to vote for. This was a freebie.
I have a feeling next week is going to be a random too. There's not a lot of stuff out there for V.
Well, there's Van Halen. That's the obvious one.
We've done it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's like
Yeah.
What else starts with V? The Veronicas?
Verve pipe.
Oh yeah, the Verve. There you go. The Verve. That's one. I don't know if you could get 4 songs that people actually know for the Verve. Most people
Nope.
only know Bittersweet Symphony.
Right.
What else starts with V? It's hard to think off the top of my head.
It's going to be a random, let me tell you.
Yeah, okay.
Because I can't think anything. I'll look at my database of music and see if I can find anything that starts with a V that I can use. Oh, Village People.
Oh yeah, there you go. Village People. That's a good one. And I do like Gunsky's suggestion. Various artists. Yes.
V for various.
There you go. Oh, Van Morrison. Six is suggesting Van Morrison. That's
Vanessa Carlton.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Carlton. I only know one song by her, but I'm sure that there's others. Violent Femmes. I only know one song by them too, Blister in the Sun. But I'm sure they've got lots of good ones.
Maybe there's an option there. We'll see.
Yeah. JB suggests Venom. No, we're not doing Venom. I can tell you now, it will not be Venom.
Okay.
Rotten Cop says Volbeat. Volbeat is a Pokemon, not a band. I can't believe I have to correct you on that. Vivaldi. Oh, if you do Vivaldi, that would be good.
I had a feeling Madonna was going to be leading.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It's 0% for Madonna.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen.
So it looks like 4 votes for Killer Queen, 3 votes for Let's Go Crazy, and 2 votes for Abacab at the moment. So pretty close poll. If you're not, as long as you don't want to hear Madonna, then it's very close.
They're good songs. All of them are top 5 songs on the.
Well, like I said, for me there was an instant choice. There's like zero thought involved.
Well, we've talked about
Clippy.
You want to talk about? I really don't have any information on Derailed, so we really can't talk about that. I could fire up the website and read from there, but that's kind of boring. But this deal with Tim Walsh issuing driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
That seems bad. That seems like a bad thing.
Well, if someone is illegal and they vote, that's against the law. But how do you catch them if they have a driver's license?
Well, you don't even need ID, though, to vote, do you? I thought you could just rock up and say, hello, yes, my name is John Citizen. I would like to vote, please.
In some states, yeah. Some states, that's true. Some states, that's not true.
In those states, you need the fake moustache. And you're like, I am John Citizen, and I have a moustache. Now I must vote.
I guess I can look
Velvet Revolver is an excellent suggestion by Rotten Corp. I mean, I only know one song by them, but it's a damn good song.
How many states require ID to vote?
And Rotten is saying Volbeat is a band. Yes, I know it's a band, but it's also a Pokemon, and I think that's very funny.
You know, you ask a simple question, you think you're going to get a simple answer. Say, how many states require an ID to vote? And you think you would just get like a number back, 22, or whatever. Nope. They all have all these websites that explain voter laws in every state from their constitutions. Like, I don't need all that. I just want to know a number.
What you can do is if you type it into Grok or any AI, I guess, you can say, please answer with only a number, and it will. So if you say, how many states require voter ID? Please answer with just a number. It'll just give you like a number. So hopefully that will circumvent the dribble and get you the answer that you're after. And yes, JB is saying Slither 4 times. Slither is the one Velvet Revolver song that I know, and it is an excellent song. I would have no problems with all 4 choices on the poll being Slither.
It's also, I don't know if Tim realizes, but if he suddenly gets an uptick of Hispanics in his state, does he really think that ICE isn't going to look into that and be like, why are you coming here?
As of 2025, 36 states require some form of voter identification at the polls.
Well, there you go.
With 25 requiring photo ID and 11 accepting non-photo ID, which could be like your birth certificate or a passport. Well, your passports have a photo. The remaining 14 states and Washington, D.C. do not require an ID to vote in person, though some may require ID for first-time voters or under specific circumstances. So more than half require it. We need to, because it, I think there should be a law, a federal law says that if you want to participate in the federal election, you must follow these federal election laws. That way they're the same in every state. And the federal law says you must have voter ID. End of story.
I think you should. I was appalled when I went to vote in Australia and they didn't even ask for ID. It's like, so I could just lie. I could just say my name is person I want to steal the vote from, and then just steal their vote, and you'd be like, cool. That's insane to me.
I guess what would happen is if you voted for somebody and they then tried to vote, they would have to produce photo ID and your vote would be discounted.
I don't think that would happen. I think they just get told you've already voted. And like even like if they showed the voter ID, they can't negate my vote because it's a secret ballot. They don't know which vote was mine.
Oh.
So if I say my name is theonetonhammer, mwahaha, I'm gonna vote for this party, and then you rock up and say, hello, I'm Mr. Neatonhammer. They say, no, you've already voted. You say, look, here's my driver's license. I'm sorry, but it says here you've already voted in another location. I don't know how they would solve that. I think they just send you away because they don't know which of the votes came from me, so they can't negate it.
Yeah. And what happens if you vote for somebody who does not vote? You get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. So I could be like, hello, my name is Theo Neatonhammer. And then if you just like, voting is mandatory. So if you were in Australia and you didn't vote, you'd get like a fine. So most people vote. Just because they don't want to give the government money.
Go to a site, say, my name is Bill, here's my vote. Get in your car, go to another site, say, hi, my name is Frank, here's my vote.
Yep.
Leave, go to another site, my name is Tom.
Well, what they do is they do have a list of the entire electorate, like a big book. So if you say, my name is Tom Cruise, they will find Tom Cruise in the book to make sure that Tom Cruise is a legitimate
so voter. They do ask you your name.
They ask you your name, and I think your address. So you would need to know someone's address in order to steal their vote. But like, I could steal my cousin's vote. I know his address. I could be like, yes, my name is Terry's cousin, and I live in location. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, checks out. Terry's cousin has voted. And then he comes along and says, no, sorry, you voted earlier today.
It doesn't sound very secure to me.
It's not. That's why I was appalled. The whole thing was so shoddy. Like, you fill out the bloody fake ballots in pencil. Like, that is insane to me. Like, if you get one activist who's counting the votes, oops, my eraser slipped. I'm pretty sure that tick was in this box. Let me just fix that for them.
Yeah. With Pennsylvania, you have to have a voter. You have to have a real ID, which is better than a regular ID. This proves you are who you are, and that all that kind of stuff. And then when you fill out your vote, it's printed right there while you're there on a printer. Right. And then you're given a receipt.
Okay.
So you know your vote went where your vote went, and you can also check online later.
Yeah, I was horrified with the lack of security surrounding voting when I went to vote. I was just disgusted. That is so open to fraud.
You need a license or an ID to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, and rightly so.
But not vote for the next president of the United States.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Make it make sense.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
So, what are the voter ID laws up in the Great White North? Jen?
Sorry, what?
Yes.
What are the voter ID laws up in the Great White North? Do they vary from province to province?
You have to have one, but it's usually we're voting by district, so you have to have the district card that proves that you're from the area, and then you have
that's good.
You know, your government issued ID. But that doesn't mean that we don't have foreigners voting here.
Yeah, when I went to vote, I brought my passport because I don't have a driver's license. But I just assumed that I would need to prove I was who I said I was. No, here's your pencil. Go fill in the ballot over there. It's like, jeez, pretty shoddy.
Our voting is all on voting machines. But the cool thing is you get a receipt. And then later on, like a couple of days later, you can get online and go to the government website and pull up your vote.
So yours is not secret, then they know which vote is yours.
Yeah.
Okay, because they make a big deal about you do not identify who you are on your ballot. So if I wrote my name, if I wrote Terry Diamantis vote on the ballot, they would throw it out because that's illegal. You can't have any identifying content on your ballot. It has to be secret. And that's
weird.
Well, the point is to try and stop people from being pressured into voting a particular way. So, like, if your overbearing father is like, you'll vote for Donald Trump and you'll like it, you can vote for whoever you want, and he can't then go to the website and say, you voted for Kamala Harris, get out of my house forever.
Well, you just can't go to the website and say, search on people's votes. You have to sign on with your name, your password, that whole deal. So you're the only person who can see your vote online.
Okay. But that's the principle behind the secret ballot is that way, even if you're being pressured to vote a certain way, they can't actually, like, you can just say, oh, yeah, I totally voted for the Greens, just like you wanted me to, Mum. And then, like, there's no way for anyone to track that back to you if you didn't vote the way that you were being pressured to vote.
I don't know. I guess the differences between the way you guys run your votes, the way we run our votes, probably makes a big difference here.
Yeah.
Because you basically have to vote for something, some kind of something.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time I deliberately vote for nothing, in that I will just put a line through the boxes because it's a secret ballot. They can't say, Terry didn't vote. They'll go, someone in this electorate didn't vote, or submitted a blank piece of paper. But they can't chase me down and say, why didn't you fill in your ballot properly? This is like, well, I guess we throw it out.
But you are required to vote. If you don't vote, they penalize you, right?
You have to show up at the polling place and get your name marked off. Because it's a secret ballot, they can't know what you submitted. So if you just put a line through all the boxes, as far as the system is concerned, you showed up, you got your name marked off, you received a ballot, you submitted a ballot. They don't know it was a blank one. And then, so you've complied with everything that you needed to comply with. It's just that as a protest or out of indifference or whatever, you just haven't actually contributed to the election.
But you guys have ranked voting, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a better process.
Yeah, I like it because it gives you more reason to vote for minor parties. Like in America, it seems like if you're not voting Dem or Republican, you're kind of just throwing your vote away. Like voting for the Libertarians isn't going to accomplish anything because they're not going to win. Whereas in the Australian system, you can put the Libertarians first, and then as a second choice, the Republicans, then as a third choice, the Democrats, and a fourth choice, the Greens, or however many parties you actually have over there.
Yeah, we only have those three. So independent, Democrats and Republicans. There's never anybody from the Libertarians on the voter polls. They have to get penciled in. That's never going to happen.
So so with the Australian system, I always vote. If there's a candidate from the One Nation Party, I always vote for them. If there's not, then I just put a line through the boxes and submit nothing. So I can put One Nation first, and then I can just put the parties that I hate, which would be the Greens and the Labor Party, all the way at the bottom of the rankings, so that my vote is going to benefit the minor parties that I like before it gets to eventually I'll be just voting Liberal, I guess.
So if you have 5 options, do you have to pick one? Do you have to put those 5 in order, or can you just pick one if you wanted to?
You have to put them all. You have to put 5 different numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the boxes. So you can't just put a 1 in the one that you like. You can't just rank the first 3. You have to rank all of them. It is different for the Senate, where you have above the line and below the line, where above the line you need, I think, 6. Like however many options there are, you need to number at least 6. And below the line, because above the line is parties and below the line is actual candidates. So I think it's 12 candidates or 6 parties is what you have to rank.
Yeah, that's the other big difference between us, is that you vote for parties, not for people.
Yes, correct.
I think that's how they do it in Canada too. They vote for parties, not people.
Basically, you got to get enough seats in your party, and then your party votes for who's going to be the leader.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense. We're both Commonwealth nations, so we use the English system.
Don't get me wrong, I resent it sometimes. I mean, it does still work. It's just it's based off of a gentleman's club, and that doesn't exist anymore.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it makes sense. Australia and Canada, both Commonwealth nations, so it makes sense that we just use the English system, where you vote for the party, not the person. We have had so many unelected prime ministers in Australia; it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I guess Americans are kind of like the French.
Yeah,
I guess the French just say, "Well, we're not gonna."
The
Americans are just gonna do it our way. Fuck you.
Yeah. Because I remember there was a time we had something like 4 different prime ministers in the space of like 18 months, because there was like so much turmoil within the party that people kept getting ousted as the leader. So whoever was the leader when you first voted for the Labour Party, there were like 3 or 4 different prime ministers by the time the term ended.
Now, in that case, I think I like our system a little bit better.
Yeah, like you can't have Donald Trump be kicked out as president because of turmoil within the Republican Party.
No, they can impeach him, but that's about it.
That's different though. Because this is just this wasn't like he's committed a serious wrong and we need to impeach him. This was we, the Labour Party, have decided we want this person as our leader instead of the person that was the candidate that you voted for, and like that's just like an internal decision. It's not like a serious thing like an impeachment. It's just we've decided to change our leader.
Even an impeachment is not that serious. Trump was impeached twice. Did it really affect anything? No.
No, but it's more serious than just the party making an internal decision. Yeah, we feel like changing our leader. Let's do it.
Well, gang, it is 10 bells.
It is. Well, it's 12 for me, but
10 bells for me. What do you say we get out of here?
Sounds like a plan.
Jen?
And I can see that the correct song won the poll, so I'm happy with that.
That's funny.
I actually voted for Genesis. Who did you vote for, Jen?
I voted for Prince.
Yeah, we all voted differently.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's get out of here.
Stretches.
I double clicked on the icon. Why is the music playing? Oh, there we go. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. Can't wait for the next Wednesday show. Remember, Millions are live every evening except Thursday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That stream usually starts about a half an hour before YouTube. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I mean, what are the odds, right?
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.